Hello out there, once again, sports fans. Your internet friend Jersey Joe here, and Ion over there, ready to talk about our favorite subject, baseball. And look, we all know this whole coronavirus thing has us all down, and yes, suspended the baseball season, and we hate it. We want baseball back. Well, that's a question put on social media. When do you think MLB should resume play in the 2020 season? What's your best guess, or what would be your plan to get us back to the ballpark? We got a whole stack here of answers, a lot to get through on this one. So, Joe, let's go to you right away. And what's your plan? How do you think they should start the 2020 season?
I first of all, I'm not one of those people that will take only the 162 full season or nothing. If there's a compromise they can come to where it's a shortened season, they throw in doubleheaders, or they change the divisions to have the teams in Florida and Arizona, that's fine. I'd rather have that than nothing. However, here's the big part. Only when it's 100% safe to have baseball. That includes fans in the seats, and I don't mean like 6 feet away. I mean that means when it's 100% safe to get back to normal.
I agree with that. Look, I definitely want to get back to the ballpark as well. I miss it so much. Craig Cruiser 28 said in this comment that I agree with. He says, I miss baseball more than ever, but MLB needs to do this 1,000% safely. I'm willing to wait, even if this takes us into the summer. And that's I agree with you, Joel. We got to make sure no 6 feet apart in the ballpark, not every other stand being open. Get it to where we're okay, approved to be safe. You know, the government says, okay, it's okay to go out of your home now. Because what's going to happen is if we're not, all it takes is one person in that park to spread it all around, and here we go again. So that's a danger that I think. And I think somebody has that comment coming up here in a little bit, but that's my opinion on it. Like, let's do this the right way. But damn, I miss the ballpark so much. I really want to go to a game now.
It's the worst part of this whole thing.
Yeah, I want my beer and my overly expensive hot dog, and I want my hot ballpark weather.
I want to sit down. Yeah. Have a conversation, sip a beer, and just enjoy.
Yeah, because let's put it this way: like you and I would have already been to a ton of games already at this point in the season. It's like, oh, I just want to go so bad.
Yeah, up until this point, we definitely would have either. Well, it's only April now, but we would have either gone to some games or we'd be right around the corner from it, no doubt.
Absolutely, exactly. Well, look, we got a ton of your guys' suggestions. Let's get to them right now. There's a lot to get through. Darren, the intern, says, it's been agonizing without baseball start as soon as possible. Cody United says he wants it to start immediately. Ed Star 78, I'd even love to see them play just to be televised. Some baseball is better than no baseball. And Richard Poole, too, I hope the beaches in Florida open in May with restrictions on capacity. We're supposed to go in May for 2 weeks. And he also has tickets to go to the first night race at Martinville on Saturday, May 9th. I don't see that happening. No, May is too early for that. We're in May. It's not going to happen in May. At least not even without fans. There's just no way we can get back to baseball in May. I don't think. Do you?
No, we aren't even flattening the curve yet.
Right. I mean, their Broadway isn't even opening until June now. New York is pretty much locked up almost to Memorial Day now. So last I heard, it's May 20th. They canceled school for the rest of the year here, so we can't even get that done, let alone try to get people back to a park.
Toronto has all city events banned through June, so we're talking about a starting point of July right now if we include Toronto.
I could see July 4th weekend maybe being a nice restart for that. That kind of would be...
That'd be a nice goal to aim for, yeah.
Moyer comments, Starman784 says, hold off until the 4th of July. Hey, I just said that. We need to make sure the pandemic is beat. I don't want to go to a game one sick person exposes everyone. Hey, that was my comment. Oh, wait, this one is in Russian. It's from Mitbet on Kornavi Konbakia 6 and 3 Michelob. All right, can't read that one. Michael F3825 says, I listen to statisticians and my daughter, who's been ahead of the curve since it started in Wuhan. Baseball might be better creating 6 to 8 all-star teams and playing a tournament schedule instead of starting in July. Logistics of the Arizona plan are very tough, and that heat even tougher. Maybe play games indoors at Houston and Tampa. 30 players per team. 4 teams each division, and then play July through August and playoffs in September. I don't know about reducing rosters and teams getting smaller because, first off, I just think the Player Association, that just opens up a whole can of worms for unions and people getting sued over contracts. I don't see that being possible.
Right. That's not going to happen. It's not realistic. And it's for good reason because nobody wants to see a watered-down product, and it's not fair to any fans of any team to not have their team playing when other teams are playing for games that count.
I guess my question is then, who do you determine who plays and which player plays and which one doesn't? Because And then do they not get paid? Do they get paid? Like, there's so much logistics there. I think
Oh, yeah. There's so many layers upon layers to that one.
that's just going to be a glorified number. And then the TV rights, who gets what? Like, whew, it would take longer to figure out that plan than just letting this whole pandemic go past, you know? They just would never get it organized. More your comments. Peter Finn says, I've heard of the Phoenix area plan. I think baseball is all about the different parks until all 30 parks can open. No games. He agrees with us. Joel Rough Guitar says, May 1st, all games played with no fans after every player is tested and free of virus. Let's play ball. TV viewing only for the rest of the season. Look, the WWE is doing it without fans. It just doesn't feel like... Did you watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when Jimmy Kimmel was on this week and they shot the show with nobody in the audience either? You heard the crew laughing in the background. For baseball, you need the fans cheering. It's once in a while they've played a game where there's no fans, but
yeah, this is kind of where the very first part of what I was saying kind of falls into. Like, I would take it if I absolutely had to, but probably not something. Just I don't know. I'm with you on that. Like, it's just not desirable.
Milsey writes in and says, just cut one game from each series.
Need more than that. If we're going to get everything started, we need more.
Yeah, because then I guess my question then is, what if you do cut one game from each series, but then then you're going to end up in a tie? Like, I think that's a little bit harder to pull off, too.
That complicates the travel schedule. Baseball scheduling is set up on purpose to have teams in cities for 3 days, so they're not traveling constantly. It has to do with saving money and resting players.
Yeah, I do think I agree with you. I think that's exactly a travel nightmare. And then what happens if one of these games gets rained out or postponed? Ooh, there you got yourself another travel nightmare. And travel's already a nightmare to begin with right now as it is. In fact, they canceled 90% of the flights even coming out of New York now. So
right.
It's hard to even get on one.
It would be more logical to cancel entire series than it would just a game from each one.
We got a live viewer, Cass3319 writes in and welcome to the show, says, I'm sorry to say this, the season's not happening this year. I think there's still a chance that we can get it in and get it to happen, but not right now.
I'm thinking it's not going to be entirely safe when we do start it up, and it'll cause problems, especially if we force it. But I don't know how careful Rob Manfred's going to be. So right now, we're not really sure.
Right. I mean, NHL is trying to talk about starting their season, but then there's also a plan for them to bag the rest of their season, too. But their season was already pretty far along when it happened. Whereas baseball, we were in spring training. It didn't get even off the ground yet.
Totally different strategy for different leagues.
All right, we kind of got a long one here, but it's kind of an important comment. Ben writes in and says, statistically, the teams in playoff position at the end of April make the playoffs roughly 80% of the time. So realistically, if you started the season September 1st and played the April schedule, you'd have a pretty good approximation of what the playoffs would have looked like anyway. Play them all in Arizona, no fans, but free to air, and then have the playoff and World Series as planned.
So an extremely abbreviated schedule. I would take that if it came down to it. If we're having the same conversation that we're having now, and it's August, except we've flattened the curve a little bit, and we're kind of going, well, the death toll's almost nothing for this month. We're doing a good job. Maybe. Then maybe I can see that happening.
I would agree with that if we get 1 month of baseball and that's all we're going to get, then I would support that plan. He is kind of right. April does kind of start to set up the season a little bit, so I would go for that. Something's better than nothing. That's how I look at it. More your comments right now. MH Braverman says, I think the decision should be made by a panel of public health officials who aren't baseball fans, so they'll be objective. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe we let it up to the feds.
Yeah, I agree. That's who should decide it. The experts are exactly who should decide.
Yeah, I think that's the safe and smart way to do it. Well, let's get to the polls right now. 2 polls were out there, and you guys had the final word on this. So should MLB, let's go to the first one, sorry. Is May too early for MLB to resume the 2020 season? 71% of you agree that it is. 29% says no. So 7% says, let's pause. I agree with that. Then the second poll, should MLB skip the entire 2020 season? Thank God 62% of you said no. 38% said yes. And I will tell you, when I typed in this poll online, I was scared to death that you guys were going to say, skip the season. Not yet. We're not there yet. I hope we never get to that point.
God. Let's just keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly. And let's also hope that this whole thing doesn't come around again to get us later on in the year. Let's stay safe out there. I hope you and your families are safe as well. But you know what? While you're stuck at home, though, during this whole coronavirus thing, if you want to win, click on the subscribe button down below for all the shows on the big Jersey 50 YouTube channel. Laugh along, play along, and have some fun here. And maybe, just maybe, you could win an Amazon gift card on my game show, Captures the Spin and Win. I hope you'll enjoy that as well. And look, that's exactly it. Look, I've been watching classic games on TV. That's kind of like, that kind of fills the bill a little bit. At least thank goodness you can do that. And I gotta say, too, like, Yes has been showing some awesome classic games. MLB Network's been showing, like, old ones. It's funny. I love watching the black and white ones. Like in the 60s, people are all dressed up in their sport coats, smoking in the crowd. It's 79. It's like, it's the 70s games where everybody, it's 100 degrees out, but they're all like dressed up in there. It's amazing to like be able to look back and see how baseball has changed.
Amen.
We're still here. We'll still be here with you each and every week. I want to thank our live viewers and thank you for dialing up the big show here. Jersey Joe, I am a box owner saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time, I hope.